That's what I do it for. You know I got motion, even though I be joking. Get to the bag, got me waking at 4-something. It's deep as the ocean, been through the fire. It's gotta be why, pushing me burning inside. Kept me alive, when I would've gave up, I would've never survived. I do it for legacy.
Whoa, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's happening? What's going on, Dordan? What's happening with you?
Chilling, man, like I do.
Pop-up show, y'all. Pop-up show is in full effect. I know y'all ain't see us in a while, so we decided to pop up. We got some stuff to talk about, and we're gonna get to it in a few minutes. Let me give people a little time to come in real quick. Give folks a little time to come into the room while I make all the adjustments I need to make on my end. You heard me? Yeah. How you feeling, big dog? You say you straight?
I can't complain, man. Don't make sense anyway.
It won't do no
the
good
world
anyway.
Doesn't care. Huh?
It won't do no good anyway, huh?
Yeah, nobody care.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody got their own shit.
That's a fact. Yeah, man. We got to talk about some stuff, man. I want to get into. I saw a clip on TikTok. It was a video on TikTok, and this guy was talking about how this female she tried to give him HIV. I thought that was interesting. It's interesting as hell. You know what I mean? So I wanna get into some of that. I want to play a clip, and we're gonna break it down and talk about some things, some key moments, some mistakes, and things, how it could be avoided, and things like that. So let's give some people a little time to come into the room, y'all. Give me 1 second. Ride with me. Yes, sir. Hope everybody doing all right on this Saturday. Everybody feeling good. Hope y'all getting y'all bellies full. But without further ado, let's get right to it, man. We're gonna go ahead and get this conversation going, and see what happened to the dude. See what he's talking about, because.
Hey, what's up, there? I'm not good at making videos, but the purpose of this video, I just dropped this young lady off that I met from TikTok, and today was my first time ever meeting her, and I went and picked her up. She said that she didn't have a license to drive here to Mississippi from Memphis, and she didn't want to get in trouble, so I picked her up in the Whitehaven area at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, we came back to my house. We chilling and stuff. We went to breakfast this morning. I guess her stomach was hurting. She had to go and use the restroom. And while she was in the restroom, when she finished, she asked me, can she take a shower? I was like, of course. Mm-hmm. She asked me for a shirt and all, so I gave her a shirt to put on. Well, while she was in the shower, her purse was sitting on the nightstand, and the fan is on. So I guess the fan must have vibrated her purse from the nightstand to the floor. Well, anyhow, when her purse fell over, I went over this side of the bed, and she had stuff scattered all over the floor. But I seen this pill bottle, and it said, I don't know how to pronounce it, Crixivan, but it's spelled Crixivan. So, me being who I am, I looked it up. And it's for if you got HIV. So, this young lady, clearly the bottle got her name on it. She got HIV. So, I just left everything on the floor until she got out. So, when she got out, she walked around there. She seen all the stuff on the floor. And the look on her face was like, damn. And I said, yeah, I see your purse fell over and I seen your pill bottle. So I asked her, even though I got her name on it, I still asked her. I was like, so you got HIV? She was like, yeah. And I was like, you didn't feel like you was need to tell me? She was like, well, why would I expose myself if you don't ask or inquire? I'm not gonna sit here and just tell you. So I was like, damn. And I was like, what about if we would have had sex and I wanted to go raw? She was like, well, that's your choice. You made the choice to go raw. I
Wow.
was like, damn. So I guess what I'm telling you all, man, be careful. This girl is young, beautiful. I mean, I know diseases don't look like nothing. You can be ugly to have a disease. You can be beautiful to have a disease. But yo, it's out here. It's out here. And I always say the Lord always looking out for me. But yeah, and y'all be careful. All right, I just got one more thing to.
Yeah. So, yo, what do you think about that, man? When you hear this man break this down like this, obviously this female had no care in the world. She was about to pass it on like it was like, a happy meal.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
Unhappy. Yeah,
Unhappy
say,
meal.
man, it's right. We gotta like real shit, not we, because I'm not out there
Mhm.
like that. But
Right.
people have to really, really ease up on this casual sex shit with motherfuckers that you barely know. That's
Mm.
first. And for a homegirl to be so cavalier about what she have. You know what I mean? Like you out here just still doing your thing, knowing that you have a potentially life changing, life threatening disease that you can possibly spread to somebody,
Hmm.
and you just out here, oh well, that was your choice. You know what I mean, bro? That shit is dangerous.
Man, bro, dangerous ain't the word. My thing is too, as a man, I mean, like, yo, you really gotta approach it like everybody got it. As a woman too, obviously, just in general, like you said, casual sex should be a thing right now where it should be done so freely right now. People gotta really think. And what's crazy is at one time back in the day, it felt like AIDS awareness, HIV, all that stuff was more talked about. Now it just seems like it's not really like the outlets ain't there no more. People ain't talking about it. People living longer. I think they got more medicine to help folks live longer, but for some reason, the awareness is not talked about like it used to be. And I'm wondering if more people getting infected and messed up because of it. You know what I mean? Like the more they quiet about it, the more it go around, the more people and everybody, you know what I mean, feel like it's some certain communities. The gay community is people who are, on drugs, sharing needles and stuff like that. I think they do get it the most according to statistics. They do get it
Hmm.
the most from what I understand. But anybody can get it, man. And it's crazy because in 2025 you really got to be aware of that kind of thing and not be out here just, reckless at this point, you know?
Yeah, I
And,
think I think the fact that they feel they have it's not a full blown epidemic or
mhm,
pandemic, whichever one it is.
right.
It's not full blown anymore because they think they have a handle on it.
Mhm,
I'm saying, and shit is steadily getting passed. I mean, hey man, knowledge is one thing. You have to just unfortunately you don't have those outlets because of that.
mhm,
Because let's be real. If you think about anybody that stand to benefit from this particular disease
mhm,
now, especially, is the pharmaceutical company because they make drugs and other shit to help you live longer and deal with. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So why would you tell everybody it's out there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, then pipe down a little bit, but it's still out there.
And that's like what the dude was saying in the video. For those who just joining in, we just played a clip where a guy was talking about a female. He bought to a hotel room. He was about to have sex with her, and her purse fell over. And in her purse, some pills fell out. The pills was some word he couldn't pronounce, so he Googled it. He looked up the word, and there was HIV medicine. And this is so when she came out the bathroom, he asked, he said, "You got HIV?" He said, "You wasn't gonna tell me. You were gonna just let us just do it." So lucky for him, he was able to stop and redirect because he saw the pill bottle. But ultimately, for dudes out there, like you said, bro, none of us ain't out there like that. They're happy to be married and things like that. And Lord knows the free market is is a wild game out there right now because people are just they can't be trusted, and people got to go into it knowing that, man, you got to protect yourself. But to me, the mindset of a person that has it and just freely doing that, passing it around, you got to be it's got to be some like mad at the world stuff. So I don't know what goes into their mind to make them feel like I could just live normal, have sex, and pass it around, and it's on him if he don't ask for a wear condom or protect himself or whatever, vice versa. If it's a dude doing it to a female, you know what I mean? That's kind of wild, man. People should. I think they should be arrested. This should be.
I think if it's known for sure, and that's what they do, I think they are.
Right.
I think that is against the law, if I'm not mistaken. It's already there because you're introducing somebody to potentially life-threatening disease. You know what I'm saying? So there are some laws in place to punish people that do it. But yeah, I mean, man, that's like I'm miserable. I'm gonna bring you into my misery. You know what I'm saying? Just because I am. I mean, that's totally a selfish act right there, man.
Yeah.
It's just not it's an evil act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. It's literally evil. You know somebody gonna be affected for the rest of their life because of that. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's crazy. I was looking at some of the top cities that got HIV right now, the HIV ratings. I was surprised to see that New Orleans and Baton Rouge is not in the 2024 top 10 cities. So yeah, that's actually mind blowing because I know at one time we was like New Orleans and Baton Rouge was like, 1 and 2. Yeah, like it was ridiculous. Yeah. Like, yo, what's going on in our city? Like for real, which I'm living in Atlanta right now. But I'm just saying, but the top 10 cities, you got New York number 1, Miami, Florida is number 2, Atlanta, where I'm at right now, is number 3, Los Angeles, California. What'd you say?
That's it. Damn.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It don't surprise me though because there's a whole lot of stuff going on out here that's kind of uncontrollable. Like it is out of control. I'm gonna say that. You got Los Angeles, California is number 4. Chicago, Illinois is number 5 in HIV. San Francisco is number 6. Houston, Texas is 7. Washington, D.C. is 8. Baltimore, Maryland, 9. And Memphis, Tennessee is 10. HIV leading. Yeah, man. So these are the cities, the hot spots, they call it, hotbeds or whatever you want to call it, where these people is congregating the most at and spreading this stuff, man. So
well, if you look at that list, it seems like most of those cities are predominantly black cities or predominantly gay cities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting in itself.
It really is. It really is. It says a lot too, because it's a lot of people that's like that got it. Or it gives the perception that some people feel comfort. Straight people might think that well, it's not for straight people, so we good. And that's the word. It's the wrong idea to have because it's everybody. You got so many download dudes that's messing with dudes, then go mess with a female, man, and niggas don't know what they're doing, what they won't do, and all this stuff, and they're making everybody sick. So some of that's what's going on. That's why some of these social media threads and comments and stuff, you see comments where some of these people talking about bringing, they don't care what they like, all these pronouns and stuff, and they're doing all this stuff. A lot of that stuff, look, you do what you do in your own bedroom, but just be careful. Don't bring nobody else into that shit. Don't be reckless and let everybody else get sick, because everybody else ain't trying to get sick. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and let's look at this too, man. Again, like you said, they have a lot of download dudes out here, right? that still have their little girlfriends or whatnot.
Right.
So now, if this guy has it and then pass it on to her, she may not know it for years because it can lay dormant in your body for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's still able to pass it on at that point. You know what I mean? But she has it. She just don't know it.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's why I say, man, is that casual sex shit. Now you gotta go with people to get tested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Make
man.
sure.
You got to make sure, man. And like you said, because you just never know. All it takes is for one person to mess with somebody else, that mess with somebody else, and before you know it, you know what I mean. You got all kind of stuff that was bought through somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes the people don't even know that the person they're dealing with doing all that stuff, so they don't know. They think they're good. So it's crazy. You got to protect yourself. You got to definitely take precaution. Somebody new and stuff like that, because man, it's out here. It's really, really out here with that, for real, you know. But
no doubt.
yeah, man, absolutely. But I think it should be a warning. The dude coming out telling this story, I think, is great, because you can't look at somebody and just assume that they don't, not like that. You know, you can't. You really gotta feel like you gotta assume that everybody got it. That's the way you gotta look at it, because you don't know. You can't tell just by looking at somebody. You can't, you know what I mean? From what I understand, man, I hear people say all the time, some of the most finest or some of the most beautiful women or people or whatever, they be the ones that be having a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got the most action going on. So you just got to be careful, you know. But I thought the story was interesting because the dude, he was able to catch it and say, okay, I'm glad, you know, that he found the bottle of pills. He stopped it. He asked her some questions. So I thought it was a real, you know, dope idea that he told his story, and he was able to share with everybody else, to put everybody else on game to be careful. So I wanted to just help spread the story as well, and you know, I like to give a little credit to the TikToker that did it. I think the dude name is Quintel McComb. So if anybody go to TikTok, you pull up with Quintel McComb, and his story is on TikTok. I believe he got a follow-up video as well, but we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, man. Other than that, though, we're gonna get into this other situation.
Wait. Before we move on, man, let me say this though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and certainly appreciate the story from Quintel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is not just one of those things that you take lightly. If you're telling the truth, if it's not just a story, then what you need to do is make other people aware of who this broad is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guess
That's
what?
real.
She go on the next date. What's gonna happen?
That's it.
Like, no, she needs to, if it's that serious,
Put it out.
let people know. Say, hey, y'all need to watch. She out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He said that in the video, actually. You know, he said that I want to put it out there because I think the way she moving, I could tell she just kind of like, you know, doing it to everybody. I'm like, yeah, you should have put it out there. I mean, what are you expecting her for?
Guess what? Who knows who she done had before him?
That's it.
Who knows who she had after him? Because you already see her mindset. You see that she's not going to say anything to anybody that don't ask for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit. Yep. Who the hell go? I mean, everybody should, but like, who really? You don't really know if you know just meeting somebody. You go out on a date and here and there. You know what I mean? Hey, do you have HIV? You know to ask that shit. Is that on a? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he should certainly, if it's true, put it out there, because she's walking around here infecting people, man.
That's a fact, man. I absolutely agree, Lord, because you can't just let that slide. You know what I mean? Telling the story is one thing, but just go on and put it on out there, man. Let's just keep it real, you know.
Yeah.
But you know,
and
moving up.
Once it's out there, one more thing. Once it's out there, and if anybody see it and know who she is and want to still deal with it, then that's fine.
It's on them.
It's on you, but you know.
Yeah. It's been put out. At least you did your part. You did. So
yeah,
you know. But yeah, y'all. So I wanted to share that story. That was important. But we're gonna move on to the next story. Barack Obama was on Michelle Obama podcast, and he had a lot to say, man. I'm gonna just, be honest. Barack Obama speaks so well. It was good to see him talk. I think he said a lot of things that were insightful. Smart brother. But he said some stuff as well that kind of made my mind go, like a senior hall say, he said some stuff that got me like, hold up, man, wait a minute now, Barack. Because I'm gonna be real with you. Like I voted for Barack. The first time in 2008, I voted for Barack. I felt like it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie to you. Part of it because he was black. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, despite the fact that he was smart, intelligent, articulate, and all that kind of stuff, as a black man that has never seen a black president, I felt like at the time my obligation was to break that mold. After we break this mold, after we get this accomplished, now we can talk about fairness, and because I feel like it ain't been fair for us up to this point. So let's just go with what we got. Let's just ride or die on this topic to kind of make the playing field, to put us on a stage to even begin to have a conversation. We got to first be recognized. And I thought that was getting us recognized on a presidential level. So I voted Barack Obama, large part, not entirely, but large part because he was black. Now, I know that sounds ignorant, so I'm telling you because I know most people won't say it. But his policies sounded good. Again, he speaks well, beautiful family. You know what I mean? That made it even easier, right? But since Barack Obama, man, it's been kind of crazy. And I got my thoughts on that, but I want to get into some stuff that he said on his Michelle Obama podcast. And we're gonna get to it.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So that I think is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
And we talk a lot about what we had with our mother.
All right. So that's the conversation that was had. As you heard, he talked about, he think it's important that every boy has a gay friend. And in his case, he had a gay mentor, some professor or whatever, that he felt like gave him insight. I think that's something that's not necessary for a little boy to have personally. And I'm gonna give a shout out to all my gay people, man, because I know some gay people that's just some cool as hell, man. I give them shirt off my back. It's all love when I tell you for real. Like it's literally all love for real. But when it comes to the kids and when it comes to certain standards of societal issues, I think everything is there's an order in how we should keep things in certain order, just so the function of this society and of the family can maintain and be strong and effective, in my perspective. But Teddy, how do you feel about the comment about every boy needs a gay friend or a gay mentor? What do you think about him saying that?
So from what I gathered from what he was saying, not necessarily, a boy, not, in that age range where it's a boy, because if you think about it, kids, they may have gay friends and just don't know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's talking about children that's a little bit older, where they already have this understanding of sexuality. They already know that, hey, I'm gay. So what he's saying is their dads should have in circle somewhere a male that's of that sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
So in the event that he has
Mm-hmm.
understanding, you know what I'm saying? They can speak to that gay friend and get that perspective. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I think he was saying when it comes to that. I don't agree necessarily with that because if I think parents, if they have a gay child, you know what I mean, they should exhibit more empathy with the child. I mean, just be understanding like, look, I don't think this is what my child chose. I think this is what chose my child. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And the bottom line is it's still your child. You know, I would hope, that any parent, all they want for their children is to be happy.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, whatever that may mean for that child. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Obviously, we want to see certain things for our children, and yes, we want maybe to have grandchildren to kind of spoil and shit like that. But
Mm-hmm.
we still have to understand that your children at some point are going to make their own decisions, and they may not be decisions that you agree with. But
Yeah.
it's not about life; it's about your support of your child. So that's how I look at it. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily agree that a child that's gay needs to speak with somebody that's gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
If you're a reasonable person, then you
mm,
understand on both sides of the coin. That's why you are a reasonable person.
yeah, absolutely. Miss New Orleans, my mom in the building. Hey, 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 hey. What's
Hey,
up, mama?
moms.
Hey. But yeah, I think that when we talk about what he talked about as far as having a gay friend, a gay mentor, for me, I think is absolutely not necessary if the child is not gay. I think for a boy or a girl, I think all they need is a mother and a father. The balance of the difference of masculine and femininity, I think provides a child all that they need when it comes to navigating the world from a position of, sexuality or whatnot. Now, if something else is inserted into the atmosphere and they choose to go that route, I think then at that point they can find a community or whatever case may be. Or I don't think that a friend needs to be implemented into the circle just in case the child decides to be. To me, that's more like a preparing stage. That's more like a invitation almost. And I think that we shouldn't be raising our kids with the intent to almost, I don't want to say indoctrinize them, but to freely leave that option or make that such a viable option instead of guiding them to the natural order what they should be. And I say that because ultimately we know it's a tough life for a person to live when they gay. People don't choose to be gay. I think they deal with it. They have these attractions. I think they deal with it the best that they can. They make decisions as people. Um, but I do think that they have a hard life because people hate them. People hate on them a lot. They go through a lot. I don't know about nowadays if it's as bad as it used to be. I know it's not because back in the days, man, they used to running people up the street. I remember being a little kid and if a little boy was feminine or the other dudes are kind of bully him a little bit, not to the point necessarily to where I see nothing too crazy, but it definitely will call him I don't see it on the internet, but certain words they will call him all the time. And the little boy, you know what I mean? He probably felt like he wasn't down or he was an outcast. So I'm pretty sure that hurt like crazy. So I understand that that's not a good thing. And I never want to support anything like that. But I do think when it comes to men teaching boys how to be boys, I think we should definitely be teaching them from the masculine side of things, the role of a man and the role of a boy, traditional role of a boy or a man, because that's what ultimately I think he was created for, unless something else comes into the picture and he's convinced that that's how he wants to live his life. and let that be a choice that I think he should make as a young man that's capable of making, like you say, when they get older. But from a child's point of view, no. I say no, bro. No, do not. You don't need a gay person in your circle as a child. If it happens, it happens, and you just be exposed to it. But it's not a necessity. You know what I mean? In my view, at least.
Yeah. So that's what that's what I think he was really saying. I don't think he was saying you need to go out and say, "Hey, gay person, you want to be in my circle."
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just mainly like, like if you are reasonable, you meet a person. That person is pretty cool. You know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't think he's saying go seek out the gay community just to have somebody in your circle. So yeah, again, man, it's just you just don't know how things are going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is try to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for that thing that may or may not happen. That's why I say when it comes to parents of a gay child, you know, I would hope that they show some empathy and not be upset. Like this is your fault type shit.
Yeah.
You know, no, man, it's not like that. I mean, and you have a lot of people on here, man, just on the internet, you know, they like with the Dwayne Wade situation and his, you know, I don't know how this person Zaya, you know, wants to be classified. He's all in for his child. Am I saying that I would do that to that degree? I'm not saying that, but I see that he's actually supporting the child. Did he steer the child in that? That's you know, that's kind of hard to say, but it is what it is, and he's doing what he thinks is best for his child. I don't knock that. I don't agree with it, but I don't knock it.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Dwayne Wade's situation, the reason why I got an issue or had an issue with it now, at this point, I don't, because like you said, I mean, it is what it is. I ain't got no power with how no man raised it. That's their business. But I did have a opinion on it, if I may. But I thought that the fact that he was so young, and it appeared that him and Gabrielle Union was so quick to give him the dress and give him the makeup and put him on the front stage and expose him to the world on the world platform. Now, if it's a decision that he want to make about his life, cool, but why politicize? Why publicize it? Why put this on the forefront? And because even being so young, not only is he young, too young to make a decision, in my opinion, for something so serious about his life, to play it out to the point that where you're taking hormones, you're presenting yourself on the internet as a female. Who knows how you might feel when you're 25? The pictures are still circulating, the videos, but not only that, but you know, to me, the point is, you know, being that he was, you know, you can't even much buy alcohol, you can't even much drive a car, and yet you're making a decision about, you know, your life, about being that, you know, you can't handle the pushback from the internet. The internet is a monster. So putting them on that stage like that, I felt like was a big mistake. That was my issue. But the general support, yeah, I got opinions as well. I think that, you know, Dwayne Wade it didn't appear that he tried or he didn't, you know, attempt to curve the situation a little bit. I don't know what's going on in their household. I'm just looking at the amount of support to the point to where it's like, okay, to me, it seemed like he was living out his fantasy through his son, you know, and that's yeah, to me, it was like, what's the word they call it? When you living vicariously. Yeah. To me, that's what it looked like Dwayne Wade was doing to me. I don't know, but that's just me. Like I said, it's not the you know, say that he shouldn't have supported his son, but it just makes questions and makes me wonder, like, okay, what is this about? Because it just seems like it's too early. And,
right. And I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, the age, you know what I mean? Like, okay, if that's the signs that this child is exhibiting, you know, you can still treat the child as a child.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not about sexuality at this point. It's about you being a child. So no, I'm not going to go with the dress buying and all this. No, we're not going to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand, that you feel like whatever it is you feel like, but it's not
Right.
what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I guess thinking about it now, is it more of a sexuality thing versus as a child, right? Because do a
Mhm.
child really think about sex? Do
Right.
they think as a child of 5 years old, I want to have sex with this boy? I
Yeah.
don't think they think so. It's not a sex thing. You know what I mean? It's more
Mhm.
so of an identity thing.
Yeah.
So if you
Mhm.
treat it as an identity versus a sexuality, then you have a different perspective on how to approach it. That's how I think, anyway.
Absolutely. So you feel? Do you think that that? And I know we're getting off topic a little bit. I want to ask this: do you think that kids? Do you think kids are born gay, or do you think they are learned from a young age, depending on how they're handled as young, very young? What do you think?
You know what? Is man, that's a difficult thing to say because I've been around kids,
Mm.
and you look at the son or the guy, the boy, and you say he's a little feminine.
Hmm.
As time go on, it doesn't let up. You still have that femininity about him. And like I grew up, going to school with my daughters, man. I see these little kids, and now
Mm.
that they stay in the same school system, when you see them in the high school, like, yep, I knew it.
Yeah. That's
So it's one of those things. So I don't know about how it comes about at a young age,
hmm
but
Yeah.
it's there. It's
Yeah.
there.
I think. Yeah, I agree, man. I think in situations, I think they vary. I think some cases they are kind of like born with a chemical imbalance to some degree. And I'm not calling people saying they're mentally, and I'm just saying that there's an imbalance to the point that where the organs that they have and the natural attraction that they should have is not is something else. Is not there. So because I remember I never forget, and I don't know if my mom is still watching, but there was a little boy grew up in the neighborhood, man, and he was young. And from the moment he was born, man, he just was feminine. He was a little, I mean, it was
Yeah.
two of them. It was two of them, two cases that I know of for sure. And it was feminine since there was like little babies with Pampers on, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm like, man, I just like, and over time, one of them right now to this day is my homeboy, little brother. I mean, I believe he's like a full drag, and I think he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's pretty much he should be almost 40 right now, like maybe like
Yeah.
30s, yeah, 38, 39, probably 40. And there's another one, the other one, I haven't seen him in years, but I'm pretty sure, because he was, so like my point is that I think it definitely does come from birth a lot of times, but some people they go through situations where they got molested, they got touched on too young, and it turns them, especially with females. It's a lot of females from what I hear that were like known for getting around with a lot of dudes, and dudes too is dudes that had a lot of females. And then somehow after you done had all them bodies and did all that dirt, now you decide that's not interesting no more. You bored now all of a sudden. And they end up on the other side of the fence, like, hold up, not him or not her. And it's like, so I've seen people like that as well. So I don't
Right.
know. I think situations are different for different people, and
For
it's
sure.
probably not a all situation. However we answer that question, it's
Right.
going to
So
vary. Mhm.
so think about this when it comes to what you just said. A guy that's been with all these women didn't turn and do this, and then a woman that's been with all these guys and turn and you know what I mean. So to me, it's like the reason why they were with all these women and all these men because they were searching for something that they'll
Mhm.
never find right there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So now it's like shit. I done all this and I'm still not satisfied. Like, geez, what else is there? And
yeah.
I'll be the one to tell you, I found what I'm looking for.
Oh hell yeah. Hey man, look at here. Wife is all I need, bro. Listen,
Bro.
trust
Yeah.
me, absolutely. But but the Barack Obama, the comment I thought was interesting to suggest that kids need a gay friend to. He also mentioned that the professor will stop him if he starts to say something that's that's out of balance or whatever. Like basically, to me, And I think it just goes with, I don't want to say the liberal or Barack Obama's identity. I'm gonna say the fact that it's an all-inclusive idea. Like it's not a hard line that men should do this. Is that everybody, you should be accommodating, or you should be open to everybody. And if you say something that's too harsh in any kind of way, then you're a bad person. I mean, I kind of get, I guess, why he would say you need that balance if that's the purpose. But I think if you are a person that's trying to stand on, laws and certain certain things that you believe in, then the goal wouldn't be to try to make everybody appease everybody. There's going to be some things you're going to say that some people are not going to like. And I think any person with a real voice and some backbone and some balls, you're going to say something eventually that people are not going to like. Because if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong. Straight up. I tell you all the time. If everybody likes you, you are doing something wrong. You're not speaking up enough. You're not being real enough. You're getting along. You're going along to get along too much. And you're going to always have problems because you'll never please everybody, no matter what you try to do. And if you suppress yourself, if you keep trying to make everybody happy, you're not going to never have, your real identity is not going to never be shown, So, but anyway, that's probably getting a little off topic. But yeah, man, I just wanted to touch on the topic but I was wondering, Barack Obama said in that clip, he said that the professor, he said he was gay when gay wasn't out at the time too much. I'm wondering, well, how you knew about it? I don't know if the professor, told him or what. If it was obvious for him to see. Because
that's what I would imagine.
Yeah, like how you knew about it, man? Yeah, my mama said bow legs. She know what I'm talking about. She know what I'm talking about when I talk about the little boy, bow legs.
Oh.
She know. Yeah, the boy in our neighborhood, man. But yeah, man. So, anyways, he also said every boy benefits from having multiple examples of good men. Do you agree, or do you think a father's all a boy need? How you feel about that?
Man, it's difficult because if you have a father that's not a well-rounded person, then he's going to raise a child that's not well-rounded because he's only teaching from his perspective, from his experience. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand that. And that could work out just well. But if your mind is not open, then you're really shutting off a lot of the world that could benefit you. You know what I mean? Whoever that may be. And, it's not like I said, it's not a sexual thing, not a racial thing. It's not anything. If you're cool with everything. And I'm not saying go along to get along because I don't rock like that.
Right.
Saying just be open to understanding different things. And try to just sit back and get a better understanding of how shit works. I don't have to be, I know gay people. Do I have gay friends? No, I don't. Because it's just not the circle that I run in. But just be open to understand, man. If I do have a gay friend, then that's not going to turn me gay.
Right. No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. That's the biggest misunderstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, and real quick, man, look, I'm gonna tell you a real recent experience. Like I went to AT&T today. And I got many because I'm a bus driver, y'all. For those who don't know, I drive a bus for a living. I come across people every day, all kind of people, gay people. I'm cool with a lot of gay people, trust me. Co-workers, passengers. I'm cool with everybody. I treat everybody the same. And they all know me. They know what they know how I rock. So anyway, but I went in, I said Best Buy, no. I went to AT&T to see about my cell phone service. I was having an issue. And when I walked through the door, it's this dude bigger than me. I mean, he tall, man. He big old tall like them NFL offensive lineman. Hello, how may I help you, bro? Yo, I was like, yeah. So yeah, I want to get my phone checked out because I got something going on my phone or whatever. Come on, right this way. He walks in front of me with this twist. I'm like, oh my god. So I mean, uncomfortable a little bit. Yeah, I was a little uncomfortable. Okay, but at the end of the day, I sat down. Talked to the man, we talked about my issue. He held me. At the end of, I told him, I said, you did a good job helping me. I shook his hand. Have a good day. I mean, and that's the experience. Like, I think men should stop, should try, I should say, because it's going to be natural, I think, for men to feel uncomfortable a little bit. It's just a natural thing for a lot of guys to feel a little bit off guard or uncomfortable when they're dealing in close proximity with a gay man. It just, for some reason, society has created that stigma, and a lot of us feel uncomfortable by it. So, but understand that when you're secure in who you are, and you know what you want, you know what you don't want, you know how you rock, a lot of them pick that up pretty fast. You know what I mean? Like, even if you might be considered an attractive person, you feel like some flirting is going on. There's ways to put some serious hard lines in the sand. Like, look at him, man. Chill with the BS. Don't do that. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, you don't want to get to a point to where they're trying to disrespect you. So you got to be, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. You're playing too much. But let me see. He laughing. Yo, it was crazy, bro, for real. But I want to read a comment. Atalia, I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name. Atalia Marcel. She says it was a very interesting statement made, talking about Baba Rock, but I get it. Having a gay friend can provide understanding necessary to express empathy to the gay community, because it only appears to be more accepted these days as more people are out. However, statistically, hate crime attacks on the gay community continue to rise every year. Okay, so I don't have the stats, but I appreciate that comment because, again, nobody should be getting attacked. Nobody should be getting, vilified and hurt because of their sexual preferences. It is 2025. I think people, adults, grown as adults, should be able to live and do what the hell they want to do behind closed doors. Period. Live how they want. If you want to express a feminine side or whatever you want to do, that's fine. You know what I mean? Nobody should be attacked for that reason. So I definitely stand on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. But it's a lot of. Go ahead.
So I'll say this, man. And I saw this guy, Will Mills, comedian. I can't remember his name, but it's Will Miller or something like that. But he said that, and then I agree. Most guys, for sure, most guys that I know, not homophobia. They're not homophobic. Homophobic. They don't have the fear of the gay people. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. It's because there's a lot of people that I've seen that are gay, and they have this attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like boisterous and shouting out to the world, I'm gay, which is cool. But if you're a fucking asshole, whether you're straight or gay, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit get a lot of people get their ass whipped.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with the ass whipping, but it happens. So
right. Yes, absolutely. My boy, seven prominent. That's my boy right there. He said, respect who is respectable and who respects you. If you don't share common ideologies with someone, there's no need to associate. Ooh, that's straight borderline. That's what I say. Draw the line. I appreciate that comment, bro. That's real as it gets. You know what I mean? I think everybody can be cordial. You can be cordial. You could be considerate or whatnot, or kind or whatnot situation, but you don't have to necessarily choose to associate on a regular basis if you just choose not to. Different belief systems, different ideologies, and that's fine. I mean, I just think when you get to the point where you're being mean to people, you're hurting people, I'm talking about physically hurting people, because you can hurt people sometimes by just saying, I don't support this. And that's not something that somebody should say that they're hurt by. But we live in a society where people are so sensitive, and you don't have a right to say that you don't want these people coming to your school, talking to your kids, or you don't have a right to say, what do you mean you uncomfortable because two men kissing on TV or whatever, So a lot of things that, are, people want to say, they don't want to say because they don't want to be looked at as, like you say, homophobic, which is a false term, because like you say, homophobia is a fear of, like you just explained. and nobody's doing it because they're scared. They're doing it just because they don't support the ideology, or they don't support the act of it, which is a personal choice, you know. That's why, even regards to parents, I would even expand that idea. Even if, I know you talked on it earlier a little bit. I am kind of hard on, I do feel like every parent should be accepting and loving of their child, but at the same time, I kind of want to leave room for everybody to make their decisions about their household according to their belief systems. And I think some people, it's just totally against their not only religious beliefs, but it's against their personal morals and beliefs. And they just, for some reason, they just can't accept certain things. And I think every person has the right to have that boundary. But I do think it's pretty cruel. It's pretty messed up when you have to turn your back on your own child. I do agree with you. You know what I mean on that. I just want to say that real quick. But my boy Chuck put a comment in there. He say, young men don't need to have a gay friend to treat people as humans. He is pushing an agenda just like he did as president when he pushed the LGBT agenda instead of black civil rights. Hey, that's a hell of a statement, Chuck. I mean, it is congruent with what he said in the past. To your point, he has a certain position, and he's still on code. That's who he is. That's what he ran on. That's who he is. So, in a sense, I don't know if it's an agenda or not, Chuck, but I will say that's who he is. You know what I mean? But I definitely respect that for real, for sure. Yeah. But anything else you want to add, Doran, before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, you just, again, if that's your child, and if your religion dictates that you don't love your child, maybe you need to think about changing your religion. Like real shit. Think about that, man. You're religious and holy type shit, but then you turn your back on your child, on your loved one that you brought into this world. Come on, man. That wasn't their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you need to look into your religion a little bit more and stop accepting the shit that people tell you.
Right. Because I see a lot of cases where they talk about that. And I think a lot of parents that are like super Christian-y or whatever, and they uphold the Bible to the point to where they will make that decision. I think the way they present it, I've actually seen it on social media, of course, but the way they present it is they'll say, okay, well, God, this is a sin, you need to repent or whatever like that. God can deliver you from this. I'm not going to attend the wedding of something that's in sin. You shouldn't even be married into a church because God does not approve of this. And they'll have these things, and they feel like their first commitment is to God. So that's why that's how that ends up happening, because their loyalty is to the biblical principles that they're getting through. But I get what you're saying though, because if you give your child an ultimatum and say, if you want me in your life, you cannot be gay, or you cannot bring your gay friend around me, or you cannot. Those terms are pretty much turning you back on, because you're giving them an ultimatum that ultimately, like, something that they can't probably help, like you said. So I get it, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like real talk, bro. If you have a talk with your child, because if you say I turn my back on you, then that means you're totally disappointed in who you raised. You're totally disappointed to turn your back, as opposed to talking to that person. Say, look, I don't agree with what you're doing. I don't accept what you're doing, but I want you to be happy. You know what I mean? And like you said, boundaries and shit like that. Okay, you can have some boundaries. I don't want to see, I'm not ready to see you and this person together. But I'm not knocking you, but I'm not ready to see it. You know what I mean? Just a conversation, man, until you get comfortable, or what you may never get comfortable.
Right.
But at least you're not turning your back on your child.
Right. I agree. Yes, sir. Definitely. That's real talk. Yeah. So with that being said, y'all, Barack Obama has been in other news recently. And I'm looking at this stuff about Tulsi Gabbard. She came out and she's saying that he should be charged with treason. I'm going to play a clip real quick and we're gonna get into it in a second, y'all, because let's see.
This is the Will Kane Show, and we begin with a breaking news alert. Fox News Digital exclusively reporting that the Obama administration manufactured and politicized intelligence to create a narrative that the Kremlin was trying to influence the 2016 presidential election. This is the origins of Russia, Russia, Russia. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has just declassified today these documents, laying out this timeline. Prior to 2016 and the election, officials from across the intelligence community assessed Russia lacked the intent and capability to hack U.S. elections. After President Trump's 2016 victory, early intel assessments proved that there was no foreign manipulation. Now, officials tell Fox that intelligence was then manufactured and politicized to be used as the basis for the year-long Mueller probe. The documents state, quote, hours before the December 8th, 2016 PDB was due to be published, a senior intelligence official abruptly pulled it from the president's briefing book. It was never published. The next day, on December 9th, 2016, the Obama White House convened in a classified NSC meeting with top administration officials to discuss Russia. Following the meeting, an email was then sent from then DNI Clapper's executive assistant to the intelligence community officials with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling. Within hours, the intelligence community made a 180-degree pivot and started drafting an intelligence community assessment that directly contradicted assessments from the previous 6 months, manufacturing and amplifying the Russia hoax narrative. This is what DNI Director Gabbard is saying today. There was a treasonous conspiracy in 2016 committed by officials at the highest level of our government. We'll continue to break down the bombshell as it develops. Hey, it's Will Kane.
All right. So when you see that and they're talking about trying to bring charges to Obama because of, what do you think about that, man, when you see this? Mm-hmm.
They're really desperate. Bottom line, they're really desperate. I mean, treason, I would imagine, is, and if you can look up the definition, the turning on your country.
Right.
So the fact that they're naming it treason is kind of telling to me, and the timing as well. And all they want to make all this Jeffrey Epstein file shit go away when it comes to Donald Trump. So yeah, you want to try to distract everybody from that by throwing out this. Right. And the only place that to have breaking news on it is Fox News.
Ain't that interesting?
Come on.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, man.
Yeah.
Which it never does with these people.
It don't make a lot of sense, man. I think, to say that just because he said that Russia interfered with the election in 2016 to help Trump win, and basically they come out later and say that since there was no I guess they say the Obama administration say there was no evidence found. Ultimately, they're saying that it was made up or some type of a lie or whatever. So he did it to interfere or whatever case may be. But, I think it's just obviously some type of way to just go after past enemies. And that's what Trump has been doing. Trump has been trying to find ways. It's a lot of petty stuff this dude been doing, but like find ways to pull up old bones. These people are just finding ways to get at people for coming at them in the past. And I think that kind of moving like that creates a fear, puts a fear in people to not mess with them. And people are scared to kind of go against them or the administration. And I think it's sending the wrong messages in general in this country, bro. It's making them look like if you dare utter the words, Donald Trump, and you're not right on point, we coming for you. So everybody now scared to kind of do it. You know what I mean? I think that's even
right. What's even crazier is, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what's even crazier is the timing of it all. Yeah, I heard that Donald Trump was suing Rupert Murdoch, who is the owner of Fox News, the CEO, or some shit like that, right? Because of the Vanity Fair thing. Right. Vanity Fair is the letter that Trump supposedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein on his 50th birthday. So they broke that news, and I think Vanity Fair is under the umbrella of Fox. So that's why Trump now is suing him, because that letter came out. You know, so now it looked like he's trying to give favor to this stupid ass idea of Barack Obama causing a treasonous. Again, that's an act against one's own country. If that even is even a case, he didn't act against his own country. You know, and guess what? If that's what you want to do, then do it. They're in total control of the FBI, everything. So do it. Let the facts come out, and then let's roll with it.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man. Hey, but we're not going to keep y'all long. I appreciate everybody for joining in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. And we're going to do this. We're going to try to do this almost every Saturday, y'all. So stay with us. We got to speak on it, regardless of what the situation is. If it's something that need to be discussed, we got to speak on it. You know, I'm your boy Quay. That's Teddy. Until next time, we going to holler. You heard me?
Yeah.
All right.